Let me caution you today. Don't allow the devil to enter the garden of your life. Don't allow Satan to come into the garden of your marriage. Don't allow Satan to come into the garden of your home. Don't allow him to come into the garden of your children, the garden of your profession, the garden of your spiritual life.
Thank you for joining us for another series on Revelation for Elevation. The Word of God is power. On this channel, you are guaranteed to be blessed, challenged, and elevated by the undiluted Word of God. The messages delivered by Reverend Augustine Momo will certainly enrich your spiritual journey. If you are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified of new messages each week. Remember to like the message you're about to listen to and share it with a friend for their elevation. Blessings.
Revelation for elevation. The Word of God is power. I am going to continue from where I stopped last week. Last week, I was telling you how the disciples of Jesus Christ engaged him by asking a question. They were in the ship with him. They were acting on Jesus' command. And while they were on their way going to Jesus, a strange and great and strong storm was ahead of them. And they began and they asked Jesus this question: don't you care that will perish? And that led me last week to begin to examine the first question that was asked in the Bible. Let me also ask this to you. Why is it important to ask questions? It is important to ask questions because in asking questions, you are trying to fill in the gaps. It helps to fill in the gaps of our understanding. Yeah. Asking question keep us on the right track when we are finding solution. Asking question will keep us on the right track when we are looking for solution. Yes, man. So last week, I was talking about the first question that was asked in the Bible. And that question was asked by Satan. That question was asked by Lucifer himself. How? Why? The question. I told you that when you ask question, you are trying to engage the person. So it started by asking them a question. And that was the beginning. That was what began the process of man's fall. He asked them question and they answered in their own way. As far as I'm concerned, that question was not properly answered. I also want to say this to you as a word of caution. Remember that Adam and Eve were in the garden. They did not invite Satan. Satan just showed up in the garden. Let me caution you today. Don't allow the devil to enter the garden of your life. Don't allow Satan to come into the garden of your marriage. Don't allow Satan to come into the garden of your home. Don't allow him to come into the garden of your children, the garden of your profession, the garden of your spiritual life, the garden of your walk with God. Don't allow Satan to come into that garden, because if he comes in there, he's going to deal with you, and he comes to steal with three agenda: to kill, to steal, and to destroy. That's why he will always want to come into our territory. Don't allow him. Don't allow him. In fact, in the book of Ephesians, chapter number 5, talking about you should not say, neither give place to the devil. Ephesians 5 verse number 27. It says, neither give place to the devil. So don't allow him to come into your space. Don't allow him to come into your life. Don't allow him to come into your territory. Don't allow him to come into your province. Don't allow him to come into your region. Don't allow him to come into your geographical location or position. That is how not to give way to the devil or give place to the devil. So be at alert. Be on guard. Don't allow him to come in a way to come and destroy your life and destroy what you are trying to build or what you are trying to do. Again, don't forget, we are here because I am trying to check the first question that was asked in the Bible, because the disciples also were asking questions of Jesus Christ. Don't you care that we perish? The Bible is littered with persons and people asking questions. So sometimes you can ask questions, but when we talk about asking question in this sense, it's not that you are questioning God. No. It's not that you are questioning the word of God. No. Because God cannot be questioned. His word cannot be questioned. The word of God is forever perfect. God is a king of all the earth. God is the monarch of the universe. He cannot be impeached. Yes, you cannot doubt the integrity of who he is. So but the question we are asking is the question that we are trying to engage. We are trying to know more about the great I am. That's the question. And that's what we are saying. Don't you care that we perish? Even though the devil, who was the first man, the first entity that asked question in the Bible, he asked his question with intention to make the whole of human race to fall. Are you understanding me? But the disciples here, when they were asking Jesus question, they want Jesus to rescue them. And that's why they are asking him, don't you care that we perish? Let me move on here. Now, conversely, the process, I'm suggesting now, the process, in the other hand, the process that began redemption is also on the account of a question being asked. This time around, it was God. After man fell, God came in the garden, and in trying to put a system in place for man's redemption, God started also by asking the question. Genesis chapter 3, verse number 9. Yeah, Genesis 3, verse number 9. And this was the second question. Man fell, man's redemption also came by a question being asked. And God said this, and the Lord called unto Adam and said unto him, Adam, where art thou? Adam, where art thou? This is how God does his own thing. God has a sense of humor. The enemy came, used question to bring man down. God used the same instrument, the same way God came back when he wanted to redeem man, to put system in place to redeem this man that fell from grace. He started by saying to him, where art thou? Yes. And that is what I've come to say to you tonight. That there is nothing wrong when you ask questions. Nothing. You are in order when you ask questions, because God also asked questions of Adam and Eve. So when the disciples are saying, Master, do you care that we perish? They are asking a lofty question. They are asking a sensible question. Because how can the master be in your boat and then your boat is about to capsize? I see you next week. God bless you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Revelation for Elevation. We trust that you were edified by the message. Here, we are a community and we would love to hear from you and pray with you on your spiritual journey with Christ. You may contact Reverend Augustine Momo and submit your prayer request to revelation4elevation23@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow us on all social media platforms at Revelation for Elevation. Stay tuned for another empowering message, and until then, stay blessed.